Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy. Happy Fragrant Friday to you. I hope you are doing well. You have made it to the weekend, my friend, and thanks for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. So happy Fragrant Friday to you. I'm going to brag a little bit, okay? This is the top 10 spring fragrances, but just because you get the VIP experience here, I'm going to share some big news, and that is, this is truly a top 10 spring, and here's what I mean to say by that. Oftentimes in fragrances, we talk about spring, summer, and fall, winter, and so it's actually very difficult to tease apart what makes a spring fragrance as opposed to a summer fragrance. So what I did was I sat down and I made my list of like, just without looking, just made a list of like 16, 17, 18, whatever fragrances here. And then I went and I checked them on Fragrantica. And to make it onto my top 10 list for spring only, because we're trying to tease apart them from summer, the fragrance had to be listed as spring with the most popular or dominant season on Fragrantica, as voted on by you, the fragheads. So a bit of a controversy here, okay? Because I'm saying, unlike other reviewers, to make my top 10 spring, you can't be a summer dominant fragrance. I'm sorry. And so I'm happy to report that every fragrance on this list has spring as the number one season, and not too many people can say that. Okay, see, controversy abounds today, and I hope you really appreciate this list. I had so much fun making this. So let's also take a look at what makes a spring fragrance. You already know that oftentimes they come in green bottles. If you look at just the color of the bottle, they're going to be oftentimes they're going to be herbaceous, they're going to be woody, and they're going to be, of course, fougères. So what does that mean? A fougere comes from French and it means fern. So we are going to have a lot of herbs, we're going to have a lot of wood, and we're going to have a lot of fern-like smells. So I will also give you what type of fragrance it is after I list. The other thing, too, is this is a true top 10 for me. Usually I do best at night, best in the office, best woman's, best men's, best unisex. This is a true top 10. I don't have a lot of familiarity with on the women's side for spring, so I didn't even want to try. This is a true top 10 men's. I think a couple might be unisex, but those are the rules of the game for That Cologne Guy's top 10 spring fragrances. All right. Without a shadow of a doubt, here we go. Spring top 10 honorable mentions. I have two. Of course, they were tied actually. This for two reasons they didn't make it onto the list, and that was because number one, the season was tied. So the first one is Individuel by Mont Blanc, which is a phenomenal one, and it was tied with fall. And I have to tell you, I personally don't see it as a spring fragrance. I see it as a 365 days a year fragrance. I love Individuel, and it is always on my list for best cheapies. It's about the best bang for your buck. Comment down below what you think is the best bang for your buck. I mean, Nautica Voyage has to be up there. Individuel by Mont Blanc is phenomenal. Love the I call it the grape popsicle fragrance. It's just brilliant in every way. And that was tied with fall. Beach Hut Man by Amouage has to be on my honorable mention only because it was tied with summer. And so it was a spring-summer. Love that one. I personally think it's actually more of a fall. I'm sorry, more of a spring, but it is tied with summer, so I can't make it technically on the list, but I really like that one. All right, so let's get down to it. Coming into number 10, and then number 10 and 9 are some interesting picks that might not show up on other lists. Number 10, be careful with this one. This one is Cyber Garden by Costume National, and I'm so happy because I usually say Costume National, and I have no idea why. Costume National, and it's Cyber Garden, and this is the one that has the vinyl note. So I had a sample of this one, and I kicked myself. I really should have reviewed it. This is an amber fougere. And it is a fantastic green fragrance, of course, Fougere, fern-like, but the combination with vinyl, it makes it exquisite. And so I really love Cyber Garden by Costume National. Coming in at number 10, I'm happy it made it into the top 10. Number 9 is another one that flies under the radar, folks. You really have to watch out for this one because it's not so readily available, and that is Patrick by Fragrance of Ireland. And what I love about that one, and that one is that's also an Ambre Fougere, and I love the fact that it mixes perfectly with the fern and oak moss. So that's a really, really nice combination. A lot of people don't know about that one, and that makes it great for those of us who are not in, if you're the only, if you have many fraghead friends and you want to separate yourself and smell different, that's a phenomenal one, and it won't break the bank. Number 8 is, well, actually, the next few really have to be on this list. There are 3 of them that you could probably predict on this list. And here's one of them. It is an aromatic Fougere from 2010. It's coming in at number 8, and it is Fougere Royale, and it looks like by Houbigant. It looks like it is the house, but we'll call it Houbigant, and I'll put it down there in post. I like saying Houbigant. I don't even know if it is that, but it looks like Houbigant. 2010 release, and that one, by the way, Fougere Royale is my gentleman's barbershop pick on this list. That's the one I would choose if I'm looking for a barbershop fragrance. Really, really appreciate that one. In fact, I stumbled upon that one because I put in a bunch of notes on Fragrantica, just to like 3 or 4 that I like, and there were very few that were listed, and that was one of them. And then I ran a thread on Fragrantica asking people about it, and it also came up as quite popular, and I went and got a sample, and that's another one that I will be purchasing. I really like that one. I'm a little iffy when it comes to some of the barber shops can be a little older person-ish, and I'm a little lukewarm on some of them, but this is the one that I would wear for that. Okay, number 7 is a woody floral musk. This is another one that you could predict, and this is none other than 212 by Carolina Herrera. 212 has to be on this list. Come on, 212, is cut grass. Okay, so what spring? Come on, get the lawnmower out. All right, and the Budweiser, and away you go. So there is 212 by Carolina Herrera, the best cut grass fragrance on this list. And to me, it has to be on anybody's top 10, unless they're doing niche only. Should have said, by the way, that I'm combining the two. I just did whichever ones I like. This is niche and designer. Number 6 actually is interesting because it makes my list on a lot of things, and I have to tell you, I've never once received a compliment on this one. So I'm going to do an episode one day, and I want you to comment, please, because I'm always curious to know which fragrances you wear and get 0 compliments. I have a few that I love, and I have never gotten one compliment. And then I had one that I do not like at all, which I've mentioned to you guys a few times. So if you follow the channel, you remember the time I reviewed Lalique Equus, and it is a hamster cage. I love that house. I don't understand Lalique. It's like a horse stable hamster smell. It is god awful, and I got tons of compliments. And number 6 I loved and not got one, and that is He Would, as WOOD, you can see there, by D Squared. And the note that really, really stands out is fur. And that was one of the few fragrances that, because I'm like you, I don't have a lot of cash, and so I don't do a lot of blind buying. And I was in Finland, actually, and I went to a department store in Helsinki, and I picked that one up, smelled it, and I immediately bought the bottle right then and there. And I love that fragrance, actually. The longevity, I would have liked just maybe a little bit more, so maybe like a He Would Extreme, but I really, really, really like that one. And I am batting 0, folks, when it comes to compliments on He Would D Squared. That said, it has to make my top 10, right? It's number 6, and it is a woody aromatic. If I didn't say so earlier, 212 is a woody floral musk. All right, number 5 is a woody floral musk as well. And number 5, I had issues with longevity, and because it is so pricey, it can't be higher than 5, but it needs to be on this list, which is, of course, Are You Down with GIT? On Me with Harmony. GIT makes it, folks. Green Irish Tweed. Green Irish Tweed has to make it. I bought, it was, I guess it was a decant. It was slightly bigger than a sample. I think it was 10 milliliters that I had because I had it like about 2 weeks in there. And I wore it. I really like it. I really appreciate it. I heard it's the signature scent by, Clint Eastwood. I mean, who wouldn't like that? Come on. I loved everything about it, but man, the creeds just do not last on my skin. I wore Aventus for a week because I also had like a 10 milliliter of that one. I know everyone talks about Aventus, and I doused myself, skin, clothes, what little hair I had left, etc., etc. And I mean, I'm talking after like 2.5 hours, nothing. You know me, and if you have to deal with batch codes, I'm probably not buying, okay? And that is number 5. It is phenomenal, though. It is fantastic. It needs to be on the list. We have to pay homage to GIT, Green Irish Tweed. Number 4 is simply listed as aromatic. That number 4 is one I was a little bit surprised that I did not see on more lists, and that is Amazingreen. It's all one word. Amazingreen by Comme des Garçons. Love that one. And what I really appreciate is the blend of the herbaceous qualities with the fern, the fougere, mixed with the gunpowder, So I really like the originality factor. In fact, if I did have categories here, Amazingreen is number 4, but it would probably be my hipster pick, right? My if you want to be unique and original, it's probably the most original one on this list, perhaps tied with Cyber Garden. All right, number 3 is a woody floral musk. And woody floral, so I have a tie here. And I have a tie because these 2 fragrances absolutely have to be on my list. But I made them a tie because, quite frankly, they are just like the Individuel and Beach Hut. I see them as almost 365-day-a-year fragrances. I just love them so much. But they do have spring listed as the number 1 season on Fragrantica. So we're going to go with a tie on this one. I can't say that on the first day of spring tomorrow that I immediately reach for them just because I love them so much. I'd reach for them all the time. So here they go. Number 3 is a tie. Burberry Touch needs to be on this list. Burberry Touch is a phenomenal fragrance. As I've often said, it's probably one of my favorite fragrances as far as the projection stays the same throughout the duration. And I love that about Burberry Touch on my skin. So it doesn't project incredible amounts, but it also doesn't go down to the skin after about 1 to 2 to 3 hours. Like for 8 hours, people will be able to pick it up on you. I really appreciate that about Burberry Touch. And then the tie is with Prada Amber. The only thing wrong with Prada Amber, it has a name identity complex. It's called like Prada Man, Amber, Man, Prada, Amber Man, Prada Man. I don't know. It's got like 5 names. Okay, it must be a copyright issue, or I don't know. But the other thing I don't like about it is the cap is off to the side, and so you have to be a little you have to use your gymnastic qualities to actually spray the thing. Other than that, though, it is phenomenal. The other thing I want to say about Prada Amber, is that people often relegate this one as it smells like a 5-star hotel soap. Yeah, yes and no. Prada Amber, it's much better than that, actually. I think we do it a disservice by saying that, because Prada Amber, yes, it smells like a 5-star hotel soap, but after that, mixed with like a leather jacket. It's got a phenomenal leather note in there that is oftentimes lost in reviews. I personally appreciate that the most about the fragrance. And what I love about Prada Amber is clearly done with the objective of creating a fragrance that is what a woman wants to smell on a man, right? Right out of the shower, ultra clean. After that, rocking the leather jacket. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Prada Man has to be on this list, and it's tied with Burberry Touch because I love both of them equally. All right, number 2. Number two is an aromatic fougere. It's not a green bottle, and it is Dolce Gabbana pour Homme. Dolce and Gabbana pour Homme. In English, I always say Dolce e Gabbana. Dolce and Gabbana pour Homme. You know, yes, it's a 90s staple, okay? The other thing is that the people get grumpy because the original has a label. So you can see here, see how it's got the label on it still? That means it's the original. The reformulation is just, it's an engraving or it's embossed on the bottle. There's no label. That's how you know it's the new one. The new one does have more of a baby powder, baby shampoo smell to it, and the tobacco has been reduced, no doubt, okay? But that said, I mean, don't not buy it just because of what you've heard about the reformulations, because the newest version is still phenomenal. Is the original better? It is. And so I saved this bottle for special occasions. I have to admit that up until recently, because I tried the next one as a sample, for many, many years, this came out in 94, for many years on the first day of spring, this is what I turn to. I love it. I associate it with spring. I just love Dolce and Gabbana pour Homme so very much. It's a shame. It's a shame that they did the reformulations, but again, seriously, with the dandelion, it's just a wonderful, wonderful fragrance. Whatever formulation, don't worry about that too much. If you do see one, though, by the way, that does have the label, that's the original. The tobacco is higher in this one. Of course, grab it if it's in your price range. Number one is something I have recently, well, I say that in the last year or so, sampled. And it is a niche. So I guess this would be your number one if you're on a tight budget. If you have the money, though, there's a clear winner, and that has to be, of course, Bracken Man by Amouage. Bracken Man, Bracken refers to fern, and so again, it is an aromatic fougere. It is a newer one for me, so as I said, I would reach for this one, but once I get a full bottle of Bracken Man, I will be wearing that one as well. Absolutely love that one, and it deserves to be on this list as number one. What makes it onto your top 10? What surprises were on this list? What things on this list did you predict? And do you have any thoughts on ones that were missing and you would add? I would love to hear from you. Always remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I really enjoy hearing from you. This last week, we have had yet again just an absolute explosion of subscribers, and I really appreciate that. So welcome to the channel. All right, there you have it, folks. Another episode by the boards. I had so much fun doing this, and if you will allow me to brag just a little bit, this is a true top 10 spring only fragrance list. Haha. All right, you take care of yourself. Thank you so much. I really hope you're doing well, and always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. Welcome to the bonus feature. I promised I would mention a couple fragrances that came up on a lot of people's lists, and I just simply haven't tried them yet, so I can't speak to them. They didn't make it onto my list either in the top 10 or the honorable mention, but I would love to try them and or hear from you on what you think. Number one was Creed Silver Mountain Water. This one came up a lot, and if it didn't come up, a lot of comments said, what list is complete without this one? So here you go, Creed Silver Mountain Water. I'd love to try it. I just simply haven't tried it, and that's why I can't put it on the list. Plus, you guys already know, with the Creeds, you're going to have to really impress me because my previous two, Aventus and Green Irish Tweed, certainly didn't last very long at all. The second one was Le Boisée by Guerlain. So it should be Homme, Le Boisée by Guerlain. That one also came up, and it was actually, I think, tied with Summer anyway. But I have not tried that one yet, but I really want to. Looking forward to that one. And that one came up a lot on the spring-summer mix, though. But either way, I wanted to mention that one, and I would like to try that one in the future. All right, so I'll end the episode a little bit differently just because usually I put the amount of sprays that I give in my review for a specific fragrance. So if I give a 5 out of 5, then I actually spray that number onto myself to end the episode. This is a top 10, of course, so I'm not going to do that. But actually, I am, because in honor of my mom and dad's 50th wedding anniversary tomorrow, I am going to be wearing this. And so I have to end. There's only one way to end this, which, of course, is you guys are a 5 out of 5 sprays as far as parents. So here we go. 1 on each side of the neck, 1 on each wrist, and 1 on the chest. Here we go. 70s. 80s. 90s. 2000s. Here we go. And 2010s. And you know what? Let's go 6 out of 5, just for good measure. I give a bonus, and I'll give you guys, for the 2020s, all the best luck.
There you have, folks.
6 out of 5, 5 out of 5, plus a bonus for my mom and dad. Take care, everybody.